Hello, 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 and welcome, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for March 2020, though whenever you're supposed to see it, these are all timeless, these reads that I do, unless it's for specific dates, which I usually put in the description box because I am a Virgo and I am your reader for the moment. Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short, president of Jarring the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very, very, very happy to be reading for you all. Today, the moon is actually in Cancer. It's Wednesday, the 4th of March, so trying to bang out 3 of these hour-long readings a day. Plus, I have a client tonight, so trying to conserve my energy and do this, but, you know, I'm a Pisces moon, so when the moon is in a water sign like Cancerians, I tend to go a little bit more deeper than usual. That being said, if you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment. I love it when people comment in terms of telling me like how these readings fit with what's going on for them, because, you know, you just get to intuitively feel it, right? Pull some cards, but it's like being dropped down in the middle of a romantic comedy, sometimes a tragedy, and you get whipped out before the ending, so you don't really know how things go or who all the characters are, right? So please do comment and all of that. But now let's get down to business. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. Can't suit all the people all the time. You can't read all the people all the time. You read, how would you call that? Sections of the quantum field according to zodiacal symbolism, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So that's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, so that if one of them doesn't click for you, and usually you know pretty early on, particularly water signs can feel whether or not it's for them. So please do check your other signs. I usually get more intuitive material out of the Pisces moon, because I'm a Pisces moon, Pisces readings, than for my Virgo, but, you know, to each their own. Our nervous systems are all drastically different, as are our experiences, our pasts, and our paths. Cool. So check your other signs, because this is a Path of True Love reading. Path of True Love is your journey. Yes, it has relationships, relationship dynamics in it, but it's your path of growth, of healing, of learning through your relationships, your hero's journey, your spiritual path, the journey of the soul, however you want to see that. I consider it part of the hero's journey, right? The romantic, if you will, aspect of it. But these readings are not just all about romance, right? They're about relationships, all shapes, sizes, forms, parental, sibling, co-worker, boss, even during a political year, your relationships with these people that you may vote for or hate, right? It's like it's all in your relationship stuff, because well, we're all one. So, you know, who you hate and why, right? And I get it. I get the political arguments on all sides of it. But can you use these relationships, considering you'll probably never meet them, to heal yourself? That's a Path of True Love thing, right? It's a warrior's path. This ain't easy. So that being said, if you can just focus on your breath, as I am going to as well, I'll try and prompt you as I remember myself. We'll all be tuning to the present moment to bring through the clearest guidance and grace, me through words and cards, you through your own intuitive process, so you can really be tapping to the same source in the stillness of the present moment, right? Where the divine resides. Tap into to the collectives here, and let's have some fun if we can. Nice deep breath. We're going to start with one Carolyn Mace archetype cards. All the cards, the decks, I should say, that I read are at the bottom of the description box. Please do check it out. And on your way down, check out some of my other links. I got some cool product if you're interested. So, oh, I can feel this already. Here comes the tide of the Cancerian quantum field. So nice deep breath. We're going to go with the collective pantheons with this Carolyn Mace archetype. It can represent you, meaning the soul pattern, the soul archetype that you are working on, alchemizing from lead to gold on the path of true love. Can be somebody else, but can also be a situation that you find yourself in. And they keep reminding me of this. Yes, and it can be all 3 of those things at once. It's just sort of like triple whammy archetypal download, right? So here we go. Let's do this. We're going to ask my collective pantheons. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. One card, one archetype card, so that we can get a sense of the soul power involved for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. What's going on for them? What is the shadow that needs to be alchemized to light, the lead to gold, the toxicity to healing, the fear to love, the pain to peace? Please, my collective pantheons, one archetype card. There we go. Thank you. Now you heard me say, from shadow to light, from sick to healthy, right? All that stuff. One part of this card has written on it the shadow attribute, and it's triggery. I'll be the first to tell you. Sometimes it's damn triggery because nobody wants to see that stuff in themselves. Or in anybody else most of the time, depending on how you feel about the person at the time. But that's the lead, the shadow, the stuff you don't want to look at, but the stuff that's being healed on the path of true love. Otherwise, it wouldn't be popping up in your reading about your path of true love. So focus on the light attribute. That's what you're shooting for. That's what the path of true love is calling you forward to become, essentially. Ready? Let's look. The pioneer archetype. I like the pioneer archetype. I don't know that I'm a pioneer myself. I'm a bit more of an entrepreneur. I don't know that it makes me a pioneer. I don't know that I've broken ground anywhere. But the shadow attribute, compulsive need to keep moving on. Now look, that might be you, Cancerians, though honestly, 5th house, I guess it depends on what other planets you have. But Cancerians, my mother's Cancerian. I've had Cancerian women in my life, a handful of Cancerian men, but mostly women in my life. So, that inability to move on, right? Compulsion to keep moving on, right? That's like, oh, let's explore the next thing. Let's pioneer the next thing instead of settling in. And we know in relationships what that can feel like. So if that's not you, then that might be the situation that you're in right now in the shadow, or dealing with somebody who's like that. But you wouldn't, but there's something alchemically here. You look at the light side of it. Maybe that's what's going on here. Passion for doing and creating what has never been done before, right? So it's not just pioneering like, to another planet or the depths of the ocean that have not been explored. Technically, that's the explorer archetype. But to pioneer, to go where no one's gone before, to do what has never been done before, to create what's never been created before, which in terms of anchoring spiritual reality into third dimensional reality, there's a lot of that available. But you do it through your own healing. So heal what has never been healed in your family lineage before. That kind of stuff available on the path of true love. Love yourself like no one has ever loved themselves before. Perhaps there's part of it. That's one down. Next, there are going to be 24 cards in this spread. We're going to be doing the Celtic Cross spread, which is a 10 position spread, but we're going to use 2 decks for that simultaneously. So these extra 4 are clarifiers, right? 2 to begin with, then we'll do the Celtic Cross, and then we'll do 2 to end with. Cool. So it bookends it really nicely, puts it all together. I like how the guide suggested this. So Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. 4 suits: the suit of the problem, the suit of healing, the suit of grace, and the suit of luck. In tandem with that pioneer, let's see what you get. Nice deep breath, my crabbies. Oh, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. This feels so good. My Ascended Masters of True Love, please. 1 card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What's going on for them on the path of true love? Please, a piece of the problem, which is good to know, a piece of luck, a piece of healing, or a piece of grace for this Cancerian dealing with this pioneer archetype, their own, somebody else's, or overall. You got a problem card, which isn't surprising. It's half the deck, right? Because it's good to know the problem. Self-consciousness. So in terms of pioneering, like if you've got that pioneering spirit that you want to do something that's never been done before, well, of course, if you care about what other people think in terms of, well, am I doing it right? Is it okay that I do this, right? More self-assuredness is, hey, I'm doing this. I don't know. I'm being called. I'm going to do the paperwork. I'm going to make sure the math is correct to the best of my ability. But the pioneer is part of the creative family of archetypes. So Cancerian is creative water, right? Cardinal water. So this might be a strong intuitive pull to pioneer something, maybe even a new life for yourself, right? It's not nothing that anyone's ever done before, but it's something that certainly you've never done before in a certain way, shape, or form, unless it really is like pioneering a new kind of science. But this is on, you know what I mean? Like, this is the path of true love. So it's maybe going into a relationship thing. See, it's exploration if other people have done it. If it's never been done before, you see the difference between the pioneer and the explorer. So close, those two, both creative family archetypes as well. That doesn't help. But to kind of get that difference between, because I can explore Zen underwater basket weaving, other people have explored it. But if I pioneer something, if I create something that's never been created before, that's the difference. So that self-consciousness makes sense, right? Because sometimes it is going out on a limb. Thank you, Shirley MacLaine. Blessed be your heart. We are going to now, with a pioneer with self-consciousness, which does make sense, we're going to use two different decks simultaneously. We're going to use the Daughters of the Moon for the voices of my deities, gods and goddesses, right? The divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue for the voices of my angels that like working together, and they balance each other really well. So nice, deep breath, please. As I bless these decks, my gods, my goddesses, my deities, oh, hi. Please, top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, if you will, for this Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. Celtic Cross, top 10 cards. What's going on with them on the path of true love for March 2020 or Timeless, whenever they're supposed to be seeing this? Please. Top 10 cards, lay it down for us. Thank you so much, my gods and my goddesses. Clean cut, please. Maiden, Mother, Crone, rock and roll. That was pretty effortless. We're just going to do the angel deck now so that I can pull two cards at once, which is fun. Quicker, I think, too. Breathe.
Breathe.
That still point breath is so important when shifting pantheons, because it's almost like pulling the needle off a record, Google it, millennials, and moving it to another one. That way it's like you have to go into silence and boom, drop it down somewhere else. Just a different frequency band in a way. Here we go. My delightful, delicious, lovely angels of true love, please, 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 please. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, for this Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. What's going on for them for March 2020, please? Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, rock and roll. Thrones, powers, dominions. I don't know if that correlates to Maiden, Mother, or Crone, but I feel like it should. Let's lay these puppies out, shall we? The first position down, there's a link in the description box below. I think it's like the second or third link. How I read the Celtic Cross spread, everybody does it a little differently, it seems, particularly after the first two cards are down. Right? The first two cards go down, then where that third one goes, I've seen it all sorts of different ways. You'll see it how I do it, but if you want to go a little deeper into why, that's why that video is there. Shall we? The card that covers you. Your first position represents you, my Cancerians, and lovely. I mean, if you can get over the word written on the card, manipulation, this is the Six of Blades, which if you think Rider-Waite Tarot, it's the gondola, right? The guy ferrying the woman and the child from choppy water to smooth water. So we're looking at a mental balance here, a mental manipulation. Sixes are numbers of harmony and balance. So it's sort of like getting the third eye, the crown, the throat, this whole mental, emotional, the throat chakra is the crossover between the emotional and the mental, but getting this stuff in balance, what you believe, right, your third eye, what's coming in through inspiration, metabolizing that, and then what comes out of your mouth, but also what are your choices, right? Do you choose to keep it in balance? Because manipulation itself, in and of itself, is neutral. In other words, you can manipulate your mind in a good way or in a not so good way, right? You can do it to heal or to harm yourself or someone else. This, with the card of abundance, all right, for your cover card, abundance doesn't just mean money, right? A lot of people want to go there, but it definitely speaks of extra. So there's an extra amount of thinking here, but it does feel therapeutic. Now, you're pioneering, right? So why wouldn't there be an abundance of mental manipulation, trying to calculate and figure out and see it from all these different ways in a way that moves you perhaps from a tricky or a turbulent situation, right? Troubled waters to calmer waters. That's part of what you're pioneering while feeling self-conscious. So you might not be expressing this, sharing what you are thinking with other people. So perhaps having a confidant, someone to talk to about this stuff, might be helpful, but we'll see. It's only our first position down in the cross. Let's see. Sorry, that's the cover. The next position is the cross, the situation, what's working for or against you here in this. Well, and you've got the Ten of Cups, the ecstasy card, Inanna's house of heaven. And we all want that. We all want at least like that moment of that true love hot tub. And this is the path to true love. So perhaps this abundance of thinking that's going on, not in a Nine of Pentacles, Rider-Waite, freaking out, can't sleep sort of way, but if the situation really is above ecstasy and bliss, Ten of Cups, overflowing with Guardian Angel. The Guardian Angel is the higher self, that you've been guided and guarded into this, right? That perhaps the manipulation came as a result of meditation, right? Connecting with a more spiritual aspect here. So maybe you are sort of being a divine bliss channel right now. Now, you would know that, right? You would know if you're feeling divine bliss, divine ecstasy, Ten of Cups overflowing. So if you are not, it says that the Guardian Angel is sort of holding out these 10 cups to you. And I will say this, if money is an issue on this, maybe that's what you need to kind of like balance in your mind. Because sometimes, look, all right, I don't remember who said this originally. It was either Terry Pratchett or Matt Kahn, somebody, I don't remember. But, you know, when you think of New Orleans, Nolans, right? The cuisine down there is exquisite. But they only had what was there to work with, right? You know what I mean? Like the early settlers to that area, the Creole and all of that, right? It's like you got to be pretty hungry to go out in the swamp and take crawdads and turn them into a delicacy, right? So sometimes the less we have, the more creative we get. And maybe if there are issues of abundance going on financially in your life, that it's about seeing this as a way of, you know what, less to manage in a way. Yeah, you might be freaking out a little, but the Guardian Angel is saying, go within. Balance your mind. Go within. Come to me. I've got goodies for you on the inside, right? So if you think of the Guardian Angel as your higher self, not just hovering above you, but sort of around you, right? So like you're the character and they are the larger energy field. Matt Kahn said in one of his videos that the higher self is the breath. It's like, get out, really? So I started the Wim Hof method. Actually, I started the Wim Hof method then. I think I heard that. Yeah, whatever. Check out Wim Hof. He's really cool. WIM_HOF. Breathe. Love him. Let's keep going. Let's do third position here. What's at the core? Because if we're looking at something deep and emotional here in your situation, let's see what pops up in the subconscious, the core, the soul, what's underneath all of this. With the Daughters of the Moon and the Angels saying, interesting, the Nine of Flames, the Wanderer with Harmony. So you are in, interestingly enough, the Wanderer and the Pioneer. Well, the Wanderer, the Nine of Flames, which if you think again, Rider-Waite, it's that, you know, the dude with the wands, right? He's like all bad. He's like, you take my shit, I'm going to hit you with my wand, right? But saying that there's something just beyond that next peak. It's only 9 wands. It's only 9 flames. I need that 10. I need that fulfillment. So if maybe you're being offered by your divine true self here, your higher self, some guidance, some grace, some love, some ecstasy to kind of trigger this inspiration, this drive, this desire to just keep going that last 9 yards with the 9 of Flames, with harmony, right? So you're not doing it from a place of stress, of struggle, of panic, but more from a place of, okay, let's do this differently. Let's create this scenario differently. Then I'm going to follow my guidance and grace. I'm going to go with the flow. I am a water sign, so let me do this in a way that feels good. That may be in a way pioneering, right? Let's try this in a new way, even if it is just for yourself. But you never know. Maybe it's the first time ever on the planet too. You don't know until you take those steps, do you? Move that over a little bit. Okay. Fourth position, the behind. What's behind us? What's behind you, Cancerian? What's in your behind? Okay, another water card, the Piscean card. Now, before I go into this one, because that's interesting, when, you know, a court card pops up, certainly you want to address it, is it a person? So because it's in the past, this could easily be a person, but not necessarily only a Piscean sun, moon, rising Venus, Uranus, whatever it is, right? But could be certainly another water sign, but I think more importantly, someone who has a depth of emotion. Now, this could be you as well. This could be going so deep into your emotions that there is now an abundance of mental balancing going on. Totally makes sense psychologically. And then why wouldn't that bring you to a deeper mystical connection? Because Pisces is one of the mystical signs. I mean, that they're all mystical, but Pisces is the collective unconscious. Pisces is the God mind. It's the divine heart. It's a lot. There's a lot. I'm a Pisces moon. I've studied it. You know, you should know your moon sign and figure it out, because it is your connection to your element of water, your emotion, your intuition, and your soul in a lot of ways. Well, how do you get to the underworld? You got to cross the river Styx. Well, the underworld isn't hell. It's the underworld. It's where we go in between lives, dude. Right? So that Piscean card, if it represents somebody, then why I said this is interesting is the angels are talking about the child. Now, this could be a Piscean child. I wanted to get that Piscean thing clear so that we can get that this child, yes, could be a literal children, possibly one of your own, but also possibly one of your own if you've been doing any kind of inner child work, or have been dealing with that child inside of you that might be extremely emotional, right? Because Pisceans, we're mutable water, right? And I say we because my moon sign, right? So where Cancerians are known to be tidal, T-I-D-A-L, because of the moon and its pull on the ocean, right? So moody, changeable, but not like Pisceans, which are dolphin and shark, those two fish, right? Like guppy and barracuda, you know? It can really be in a deep way, almost like what they call a sea change, right? Like all of a sudden, tsunami emotionally, and maybe there is some emotional content there that has been embraced or needs to be embraced with the inner child. Particularly when I see that child archetype, I'm reminded of the words innocence, obviously, because we were all children and our innocence got written on, right? If it got taken, if it got damaged along the way. So there can be a lot of emotions around that are traumatic. So whether this is the past in relation, well, it is in relationship to where you are on the path of true love now, which is that card of manipulation and abundance. This can talk about therapy, about, you know, getting over things from the past, and in the moment being given this opportunity. The guardian angel is handing out this ecstasy, this healing, handing out ecstasy. Sorry, I just flashed back to the 80s for a moment. I'm back. Strike a pose. That as this stuff is healed, it's sort of like excavation, right? It's like, so you heal this stuff, you cry these tears, you allow the child to express what it needs to express without it driving, right? Without it controlling your life and possessing you and doing shit you're going to regret later, childish behavior. But the guardian angel, the higher self, is like saying, yes, but now drink. Now drink of this Ten of Flames. This Ten of Cups, because with the Nine of Flames underneath, it's going to give you what you need emotionally to pioneer, to press forward, to perhaps get that Ten of Flames, that completion of desire there. But certainly with that child needs to be safe to do that. So that might be part of the money thing, if the money is in the abundance part of that first position there. We'll see. Only 4 cards, only 4 positions down out of 10, and so far no major arcana. So let's see what's going on in the crown, 5th position, that which is coming into being, the next step, the immediate future. Great. Ace of Cups, you've got 3 out of 5 cards down so far that are element of water. Really speaking to me, particularly with the angel card of emerging, that from that 10 of Pentacles and perhaps some of this inner journeying, the wanderer in harmony, right, that wanderlust, letting that be in harmony, brings you to an Ace of Cups. Happiness in this deck. Sort of like holding up that cup, a new opportunity, a new emotion, a new feeling, a new seed of water that will emerge from you. I don't know that it's so much emerging from the world at you. That's more like something appears or manifests. This feels like it emerges from you, right? So this Ace of Cups is emerging, however you want to stylistically, graphically balance those out. So, you know, the inner work, I'm telling you, I love my inner child. I have several names for him, her, because sometimes it's a girl, sometimes it's a boy. Don't know why, I don't question. I'm just there to love, not even to try and heal or change, just to give that child the voice that it needs in a safe, loving way. That's like the Divine Mother part of it, the Divine Father part of it, and I'm still learning this. I'm learning how to father myself, to say, yeah, and honey, well, we can write about it, but no, we're not sending that text. Yes, I know we could destroy this person with what we understand about them, but no, that's not who we want to be, right? So boundaries, the mother and the father of that child within. Because I'm really getting that with that Piscean energy, unless some of you literally have an emotional Piscean child that's somehow woven into this. Now, nothing here says romance yet. This could totally be a parent-child or, you know, an adult-child relationship in some way, like teacher-student or something. But it's on your path of true love with pioneering. Something's being pioneered here, but you're being self-conscious about it. So not sure exactly how that plays out yet, but we've got a lot more cards to look at. Let's look at the 6th position, what is before you on the path. So from that Ace of Cups and that 10 of Cups, both sort of in this present moment, kind of, sort of, where do you go from there? 7 of Pentacles, appraisal, assigning value, right? You have something appraised, you want to know what it's worth, right? A ring, a property, a car, a house, what's it worth, right? Your stocks, you want to have somebody come in and take a look at your stocks to appraise their value, right? Should I buy or should I sell? Is it worth it? But with divine timing, you're really looking at, well, there are so many ways this can play itself out. The quantum field just went in all these different directions. Isn't that a good sound effect? That was cool. But part of it is that you can really appraise this and say, however long this has taken, like this could be a dream of yours since childhood. This is all part of the divine timing. Now, when the divine timing card appears, there are certain cards, when they appear, indicates the divine plan is in play. But the divine plan is always in play. It's eternal, it's divine, it's outside of time and influences time that way, right? It's just how it's written. But perhaps there's an opportunity for you to step back here and really see the longer game. Now, I don't know that we'll ever completely see the entirety of the divine plan while in a body. I could imagine that driving someone mad. Not insane, that's psychological. Mad involves the divine. Had moments of it here and there as a mystic. It's really that the mystic has to keep an eye out for like delusion and madness. But sometimes we can see the divine timing, right? We can look over our shoulder and see the choreography, like how perfectly timed all that was. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, fan kick, ball change. How the fuck? Wow, right? That kind of thing. So whatever it is that you've been through, and really if this child is your child that's been innocently yearning and wanting something for a long time, right, has that 9 of Flames wanderer in there with harmony, perhaps looking to find harmony, wanting to pioneer harmony some way, well, there's a happiness emerging here that leads to you kind of having that seed moment, right, of going, oh my God, this is all working out somehow. This is all written. This is all perfectly timed for where I am in my life. Now, we only have one court card here, that Piscean card. It's in the past. Sure, like I said, could be a person, but a lot of this feels like relationship to yourself right now. It could be wrong, and certainly you can pioneer with somebody, but that guardian angel there in that 2nd position, this is really between you and your spirit, your soul, your true self, higher self. Scholars vary on what that's called. So there's your microcosm. Let's look your macro, the more universal divine stuff in terms of position number 7, your lesson. What are the gods trying to teach you? Okay, we've got the card of celebration, the card of judgment. It's celebration in this deck. Revelation, right? Because it looks like these women are like in the mountains, you know, having a woman's gathering, dancing in a circle, but they're dancing on the belly of the Great Mother. And really, you have to see the card to see that, but it's like one of those pictures that, you like an optical illusion, you look at it one way and then you turn your head and there's something else completely there. There's something being revealed to you. Your lesson is about revelation, and this is your first major arcana card, and it's in the lesson position with romance. Now, this can go a couple of different ways. Let's get the ugly one out of the way. Something is revealed about a romance that you make your final judgment and decision and say, absolutely not, I'm fucking out of here, right? Not seeing that, I just have to say that you're learning about having things revealed. My take on this is through romance. This is now a romantic path of true love read to me, because your lesson is about how to have the divine reveal things to you through romance. That's the path of true love. Look, it's harder. I will be the first to say, look, family ain't easy either. I love my mom, but we get along a lot, but it doesn't mean we haven't crossed swords and shields now and again. I was a teenager, believe it or not. I was hell on wheels. Gay witch in the 80s. Woo! I put her through a lot, but we've healed a lot. Cancerian, by the way, I call her Hera. My mom, she's a queen. I adore her so much. But as much as I learned and healed with my mom, nothing like the men in my life who have come and go tread on my heart, right? All scripted, all part of the divine timing. So I have had a great deal revealed to me. Real judgment calls about, I'm sorry, if this is the way that you're going to be. See, I'm a healer. If you don't come along on the healing journey, it's not going to work. It's not about keeping up with me. It's about you being congruent with your soul. So I've had all sorts of stuff revealed to me spiritually, mystically, through just about every romantic relationship I've had in my life with men. And if you didn't know I'm gay, girl, I got a gay, gaydar. It should be an app. I don't know what the criteria would be. Let's not even go there. Instead, let's go to our 8th position, because that's so heavy-duty intense. Even if that's the only major arcana card you get here with that 10 of Cups. You see what I'm saying? There's an emotional thing going on here with those 3 other water cards, but with something being revealed through the patterning of romance, or a romance is revealed to you that you celebrate. If you're single, it doesn't feel like you're going to be. Or you're really learning, pioneering some new kind of romantic thing that's revealed to you, which is sort of neat. Let's look from the outside looking in, the 8th position, the world, how the world sees you horizontally. The 4 of Blades in this deck is called Deception, and you may not see why. The 2 of Swords in the blindfold, yeah, looks like the 2 of Swords, but this is the 4 of Blades instead of Swords, and there are 2 more crossed under the stool that she is sitting on, the bench, whatever that is, with spiritual growth. Hence the self-consciousness. People may see you as deceiving yourself that there is spiritual growth available here, right? Hence the, am I doing this right? Or what are they all looking at me for? Am I weird? Do I look crazy? Do I sound like, because I'm trying to pioneer this? But that's because of this. Something is being revealed to you through romantic partnership, romantic relationship, romantic concept, something that you are kind of yearning for and feeling and in harmony with. The higher self is offering you 10 of Cups, and in your crowning position is an Ace of Cups emerging, so there might very well be an opportunity for you as you then look back and see, oh my God, this has all been in perfect timing for right now where you are. Other people might be thinking you're a little crazy, or what's the word I used before? Mad, right? So, you know, do you want to tailor how you communicate yourself? Yes, that is your free will to choose. But if it's coming from a place of self-consciousness, that's fear, not love. Tricky, though, for a pioneer, because you're creating something that's never been done before, right? Going where no one has ever gone before. So it's sort of natural. That's almost how you know you're on the right track. People think you're nuts. I mean, unless you're like, And we all have to shave our heads and dye them purple and spin around 3 times and spit on your left foot and kick your neighbor in the nuts with it. You know, like it's your conduct that people freak out about. But then again, I'm a purple long-haired gay witch from Long Island. So, you know, plenty of people think I am odd as fuck. But once they get to know me, if they can withstand my energy field, I get that. Honestly, I'm going to say that the spiritual growth is worth whatever anybody else might think or how they see you, because the spiritual growth may well be deceptive, right? They might not see it right now, but I have a feeling. Keep walking the path of true love. Why? Because the path of true love is chipping away the excess marble. When they asked Michelangelo how he created the statue of the David, I forgot it was on the table, I just remembered. He said, I did not create the statue of the David with those perfect buns. No, God did that. I just removed the excess marble. That's what the path of true love is. So with that card of deception, they may not see, or you may not be showing that, right? You may be deliberately sort of playing a role, deceiving your Cancerians, right? You might, that card of the moon, there might be a little deception, a little obfuscation going on there. Not necessarily playing your hands about your spiritual growth on here. Playing it close to your chest. Thank you. That's a much better way of saying it. Let's look then. 9th position, destiny. Where you are on the path of true love in terms of fulfilling your destiny, not ultimately what your destiny is. No divination system's going to tell you ultimately what your destiny is. But my darlings, you got the Empress card, right? Mawu, the Great Mother, with support. The support of the angels, the support of the gods, the goddesses, the higher selves, your higher self guardian angel giving you 10 of cups, right? A love, a true love, a spiritual love that is not dependent upon anything in this world except your ability or willingness to receive it, to drink deep of those cups. I'm going to say your destiny right now is assured, but it is fertile. It is about giving birth to something in some way, shape, or form, like a pioneer in a sense, but that the divine is working through you in a gestative way. Hence that divine timing part of it too. You might have been pregnant with this child, so to speak, for a very long time, but you're getting ready for delivery. Wow. Wowie, wowie, wow, wow, wow. I just love the alignment of support with the Empress, the goddess, because it is sort of like saying the divine feminine, the goddess. Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, Capricorn the father. The goddess is supporting you in this. This is definitely a divine feminine manifestation, so don't expect divine masculine to necessarily get it. Because it's something that has to be felt, not something that has to be figured out. When somebody is called to pioneer something, of course, they thought Christopher Columbus was going to sail off the edge of the planet, right? That it was flat. Let's not talk flat earthers right now. I can't. Not with round cards. I just can't do it. Discworld, no, that's a different story. Oh, when I get older, I hope to be Granny Weatherwax, but we'll see. Okay, last position down. Let's see what the gods and the angels are talking for you here. Focus on body care. I mean, the 3 of Blades, everybody calls it the Heartbreak card because of the Rider-Waite Tarot. I get it. Except the heart isn't actually broken, it's just pierced. This is more getting to the heart of the matter, right? If you really look at that card, it's about getting to the heart of the matter. It's an air card, it's about the mind, it's about the focus of the mind. So here you have a maiden and a mother and a crone sitting in a desert with a pyramid, another 3, and the Sphinx, about mystery behind them. So getting to the heart of the mystery about body care, or through body care, maybe through yoga, Tai Chi, or really about having something revealed here about how to manifest into the world in a way that is supporting not just your spirit, but your body, your emotions. The body is the vehicle. When we bring the body into balance, miracles can keep unfolding, right? Because we're not burning out. It's not about getting the things that we want. Miracles, the technical definition of a miracle is something that defies natural law. Well, it feels like as a pioneer here, you are defying perhaps some social norms, but that you really have to what's going to come as a result of this is really, really focusing on how do I need to take care of myself in order to house this higher divine vibration going on. It's necessary. Otherwise, my Cancerians, I love you all so much, but you're not air signs. Like, air signs can get away with being a little ungrounded. The water and the earth signs, not really. We're usually better at it in some ways. But you do need to make sure that you are eating, that you are resting, that you are taking care of yourself physically in order to be able to endure, even in a good way, even if it's fun till the gods take your T-bird away. I don't know. Take the body away, right? And you reemerge into spirit to really make sure you can withstand this. This does feel high vibrational, certainly feels emotional. You've got the goddess herself in there with that card of support. There's spiritual growth, romance, 10 of cups, ace of cups, and this abundance now with the manipulation of the mind might very well be about preparing yourself to receive more and more and more and more and more of that which you are already in harmony with on the inside. At least in terms of your desire, you are. There's our Celtic cross. 2 more cards left, then we're done. Well, I'll put up a picture. We'll see what pops up in the overview. So a couple of nice deep breaths while I get a card from your higher self as indicated in this Guardian Angel card in position number 2 with that 10 of cups. Let's do this. Oh, the higher self collective, the higher selves of all involved. Please, a Whisper of Love oracle card for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What's going on here? I mean, there's some mystery here. There's some mysticism here. There's a lot of divine energy. I mean, everything is, right? But particularly with that destiny of the Empress and support, there's something, the lesson with romance, right, with celebration. Please, can you please clarify this, the higher selves of all involved for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on Path of True Love, March 2020. Just shot into my hand. I had to say the words. Love endures. Just talking about endurance. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So look, I get the self-consciousness. People might think you're like, you're crazy. No, I don't think they think you're crazy, but it's like, oh, that's never going to happen, right? And that sucks. But you know what? We need naysayers, believe it or not. Having a tough skin is, I think, essential if you want to do anything that's never been done before. And how do you get a tough skin? By people poking at you, right? People kind of trying to wear you down, and let them wear you down, but don't give up. Endure and get stronger. Because in order to pull this off, it sounds like you're going to have to be bad, you're going to have to be bold, you're going to have to be wiser, you're going to have to be hard, you're going to have to be tough, you're going to have to be stronger, you're going to have to be cool, you're going to have to be calm, you're going to have to stay together. But all I know is true love will save the day, because that's what this is looking like. This is, after all, a Path of True Love read. And don't forget, there's an appraisal here where you see divine timing in all of this. So yeah, let him eat cake for right now, right? You do you. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Maybe stuff is going down to make you again stronger, like with this body care card, so that you can endure more of that higher vibrational frequency, which, if it's in through the lessons of celebration and romance, is going to be emotional, sexual, one would think, right? Okay, last card down. This should be really helpful. Healing mantra. Matt Kahn. Love this deck. One side of the card is the mantra itself. They're in English, not Sanskrit or Latin or anything. The other side of the card is the name of the mantra, so that I can look it up in said bookie book, which has about a paragraph. Very helpful. And just as the Ascended Masters, who gave us this problem card of self-consciousness, they will now give us, hopefully, the remedy to that with the Healing Mantra deck. Nice deep breath. Oh. My Ascended Masters of True Love, please, one card for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the Path of True Love for March 2020, please. I mean, you see the tea. You see what's going on here. You see what they're going through. So what is the ultimate healing mantra for this Cancerian collective? No, that's 2 for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for March 2020. Please, that one. Let's look. I love these cards. You got asking for angelic support. Can I tell you this is my card today? I pick one a day, like, because I'm doing the Wim Hof method and all this stuff where there's breathing and you hold, and so I need something to focus on. Asking for angelic support, which makes sense with the amount of water in this spread, and I'll tell you why. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. Now, you can say, I feel this way, make it stop, make it stop. They won't. They won't. They're going to support you through it, and I'll read that for you now, because this one's a little fresh in my mind. Asking for angelic support. Shall we? My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. When asking for angelic support, you are requesting solutions from a higher realm of consciousness. Okay. Such a realm of consciousness works in accordance with free will to help you face your experiences instead of helping you avoid them. Right? So the angel's not going to say, oh, you're sad here, pick you up, drop you down over there. And I feel like what you're going to ask them for help with is not so much the trickier emotions, but that emotion of ecstasy and happiness, right? To like get to the heart of the matter so you can hold all of this stuff in your energy field. Rather than believe the cause of your feelings must be changed or eliminated, it is essential to ask your angels for better ways of viewing the feelings that keep getting triggered, right? So whatever's coming up for you, you can say, can I have some context? Can you help me look at this in another way? Because I don't know what this is. And by the way, knowing what caused the emotion doesn't necessarily heal it anyway. It's about healing it and letting it have its full emotional arc, right? Like a burp. Like you don't need to know what's causing the burp. You can just let it out, right? Let it move through you. Horrible metaphor. Because each trigger represents a healing, you are more likely to feel the presence of your angels when asking for their help to face your most difficult emotions. I'll get to that. In order to access angelic assistance, it is important to be with your feelings so your angels know where support is needed most. And I think that's really the part of it, because this could just be very intense. Yes, other people might think you're delusional. You're deceiving them. Maybe perhaps they think you're being deceived. And that, yes, could create some emotional whatever. But since you're going to be getting to the heart of the matter anyway, taking care of your physical body in terms of an outcome, you can certainly ask your angels and, you know, the guardian angel, the higher self. It's like, okay, I'm feeling all of this. I need context. Can you help me feel this in a way that is healthy and balanced? In other words, the card is called asking for angelic support, not rescue from, right? Help me, asking for angelic support, help guide me through this so that I can metabolize this emotion in a happy, healthy, wealthy way, because it's emerging. Don't forget that. Let's do an overview. You know what? My heating system just kicked on. I'm going to go pop it off. Be right back. I apologize. It's just you can't hear it. You can't hear me as well because the vent is right there and the microphone's right there, so it's not great. So thank you for bearing with me with that. Now let's pop up your overview with the picture. Ready? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. Because we've got the pioneer archetype here for you. Now, again, this could be you. This could be another person. It could also be the situation that you find yourself in. In the shadow here, compulsive need to keep moving on. And I'm maybe feeling that in your 9 of Flames here in your 3rd position, that wanting to move on, but with harmony that doesn't feel compulsive, right? But the light attribute, passion for doing and creating what has never been done before, what has not been done before. So I can feel that drive, that motivation in you perhaps to do that in a relational paradigm here, but with self-consciousness. It might be a little out of bounds for a lot of people, but doesn't mean it's not something you came in to do or at least experience in this life. Perhaps you are dealing with someone who is a pioneer who wants to do something that for you seems to be harmonious. So you're going to have to feel that out. And of course, in the quantum, it's going to play itself out in this quantum field for Cancerians in all sorts of different ways. So again, please comment at some point if you can, if you are so willing. Because with that self-consciousness, it does make sense. But in your first position, the Six of Blades, a very therapeutic card to me. Certainly it can be used to your detriment. But with that card of abundance there, since it doesn't always mean money, this may not be about changing your mind or healing your mind about money and abundance as much as it is that there is a lot of thought here, a lot of things being seen differently, but it feels voluntary. This doesn't feel like someone's manipulating your mind. If anything, it feels like, well, your guardian angel is sort of doing that, which is its job, right? Offering you these 10 of Cups in this situation, ecstasy and bliss. So of course you're having to sort of balance your mind, 6 being a number of balance. And what is that connecting to? All of that deeper emotion from that 10 of Cups? It's bringing you down into a 9 of Flames, a wanderlust, a wanderer wanting to move on, wanting to see what's beyond that next ridge. I've got my 9 of Flames. I want my 10 because I've gotten the taste perhaps of the 10 of Cups. Now I want to feel that 10 of Flames, which in this deck, interestingly enough, is the Hora, which is a circle dance done at Jewish bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and weddings. I've been to a few of them in my life, more than a few. So with that, with harmony at the core there, I could get there, like I said, some of that pioneer, the compulsive need to move on, but I wouldn't get the harmony with that. But certainly the harmony of the intuitive flow of your soul saying, yeah, this is what we came in to do. Let's take this journey. Let's explore, but let's pioneer. Let's go where no one has gone before in some way, shape, or form, right? And with that child card, the angels give us in the 4th position what's behind you, the past relative to all of this, the mermaid with the child. So maybe there was some childish fantasy going on here. Like I said, when I do the overview, new things pop up because all the cards are on the table. But still, I think there are seeds of truth there because it is supported. It's funny, you got the child here in the 4th position. You've got in the 9th position the goddess, the empress, Mawu, the mother, giving support. So though there might be some childish fantasy there, there's probably also some pretty strong childlike belief here. Now, if there is childhood emotional trauma based around this, then that 6 of Blades makes sense, but then make sure that you are working with it in a way that suffices, right? That actually brings you into a more positive or at least balanced state of being, because what's emerging for you is in the 5th position, that crown position, which is about something emerging in and of itself. Didn't even realize that till now. But what's emerging? That Ace of Cups. So maybe the guardian angel gave you an experience of the 10 of Cups, or is going to give you, or is already giving you a taste of the 10 of Cups, but that, you know, from that experience, right, now you're being taught how to start. It's like they brought you to the top of the mountain, you felt the bliss, the ecstasy, they brought you back down, and they said, now you know it's there, start climbing, right? Like, because it's emerging from you as an ace. But also, to be clear, the 10 of Cups in that 2nd position, it's the end of a cycle. What's the beginning of the cycle? The ace, which you have in your crowning. So that might just be a transition from that ecstasy into happiness, but beginning in a whole new emotional cycle. And now that would make more sense with this card of appraisal and divine timing. Really taking a moment, stepping back even physically perhaps, and looking at the value of it all, that it all unfolded in divine timing, that there's nothing you could have done to speed it up, there's nothing that you could have done to slow it down or prevent it. Even if you tried to do all of those things, it was all just part of divine timing and everything that you've been through. And I have a feeling, since you are a child, right, because I'm looking at that farmer in the 7th of Pentacles, 6th position with divine timing, looking back at that mermaid and child, right, the Piscean card and the child, that this might have been part of really what you came in to do in this life in some way or another, as a pioneer or with a pioneer, or in some pioneering situation on the path of true love. Because what's in your lesson position? The celebration of romance, the revelation of romance, or a romance revealing something to you, and it does feel mystical. It does feel fifth dimensionally involved somehow. This is probably really about an experience of true love revealing itself in a romantic paradigm. Now, it's easier to see true love, parent, child, best friends, siblings most of the time, right? Or someone in their art, someone in their job. That can be a true love relationship as well. But this is really romance here. We're looking straight at it. And while others may not get it, seeing you in that eighth position of the Four of Blades, deception with spiritual growth, it might also be that you are keeping your spiritual growth a bit of a secret and sort of deceiving people, and I understand that, particularly around family. You know, Caroline May said if you come home for Thanksgiving one year and you've got a new spiritual practice outside of your tribal, you know, your tribe's experience, like, don't expect them to applaud that you found enlightenment through Buddhism if they're all Catholics. Just pulled two of them out of the air that way. So, you know, sometimes you do kind of play a role and be a little deceptive, but just be clear that, are you deceiving yourself here? Everything else that's on the table here, that's a fine, healthy thing to ask, but the lesson that you are in, there's something being revealed here of a divine nature about romance, supported by your destiny and the goddess, right? In the divine feminine, the empress. Again, when I reflex back to abundance, that you have the support that you need to do this. You have everything that you need to do. You might say, yeah, maybe not all of it, like the money, but it feels like that will come because what's in your final position there in the Celtic cross staff is body care with the Three of Blades, which might say, okay, well, we're going to get you that, but you really have to focus on taking care of your body, keeping yourself in physical shape so that you can what? Endure. Going down to the Whisper of Love card here, love endures, love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation, which means you're going to have to really sort of massage yourself psychically, physically, emotionally. But it feels like the guardian angel and the goddess are sort of feeding you that too as you go to follow your quest, the wanderer in harmony. But don't forget to ask for angelic support. The mantra being, my angels respond. When I am open and authentic about how I feel and what they just dropped into my head, it's totally fine to say to the angels, the gods, the masters, what have you, hey, I really want to do this. I don't know how. I'm a little afraid. Help me face this fear. Help me move through this. Or I'm willing to endure this. I'm willing to take the leap of faith, though the Fool card isn't here. You're going to be pioneering something. Feels like jumping off a cliff. But that, you know, I'm exhausted. I don't know how to, I'm worried about the money. How am I going to take care of, you know, paying rent and all of this stuff? It certainly depends on the type of journey this is on the path of true love. But asking for angelic support, as long as you are open and authentic about how you feel, they may not give you rescue, but they will very certainly give you angelic support, particularly in different ways of looking at what you are feeling, which would reflex right back to that Six of Blades manipulation with abundance in your first position. Well, that was a mouthful, my Cancerians, and rightly so. There's a lot going on here. So like I said, the beginning of all of this, general reading, right? This isn't going to fit for everybody. There's a lot of specifics in here, particularly with that pioneer archetype. It's relatively rare, the pioneer archetype, I will say. The explorer, much more common. Like I could very easily go food shopping and explore making sushi at home. I've never done it. Boiling rice and all that stuff, I would rather go pay someone to do that for me. Hence the sake. I'll get sake drunk if you want to make it here at my house. Just don't fucking poison me, please. No fugu for me. Oh, just play this out. Ask the angels for support. They're going to give you what you need. Be the pioneer if this is you, but keep an eye on that self-consciousness, which is about what self-consciousness is, keeping an eye on itself, because it feels like this journey, whatever it is going to be worth it. But you know what? I have a feeling the value, your appraisal, it's going to come in divine timing once you see this is all in divine timing, right? Not just as an intellectual concept, but as a visceral experience. Because I've had moments like that as an earth sign where it's like, this was all planned since my birth, because you see the intricate, infinite choreography that had to go on to get you where you are. Yeah. May the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, because it feels like they're going to need it, and it feels like they already are blessed with everything that they need on the path of true love. All the love, all the power, all the wisdom, all the grace, all the guidance that they can get to walk this path, heal what needs to be healed, asking the angels and others for support as they go, fulfilling their role in the divine plan, pioneering for the well-being of all. May they be so blessed. And so it is. Thank you for watching, my Cancerians. Again, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm cranking out content, taking maybe one day off a week, usually a Monday to do that, trying to get shit out by 8 p.m. So please follow along, help me make my dream come true, and maybe I can help you make yours come true as well. Cool, cool. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed on a very pioneering, adventurous path of true love for March 2020 or timeless. But for now, my darlings, hail, farewell, and blessed be.